I'm Bruce St. James. She's Becky Lynn. He's Rob Hunter. And here are the stories everyone's talking about. We call it the playlist.
Track 1.
So, do we really need to hear from Newt Gingrich's ex-wife? Well, sorry, too late. She's talking. Marianne Gingrich is her name. She's going to be on ABC later tonight. Now, Newt is already responding, of course. They're in full spin mode. He said, quote, ABC News or other campaigns may want to talk about the past. But just days before an important primary election, Newt is going to talk to the people of South Carolina about the future. It's about the future.
I can't say that anything she's going to say is really going to surprise me.
Yeah, how could
I mean,
right?
we kind of know Newt's track record, but I don't know, the voyeur in me wants to watch. I have to admit, I'm going to tune in.
Well, that's what I find so funny about this. We've known about this since '99, that Gingrich traded in his wife and got a new model. So here we are in 2012 now, 13 years later, at least, 11 and a half. It's
Shock!
Like, yeah, and it's like,
horror!
Oh, it's an interview. Okay, great. This is such an old story, but we, I guess, apparently are that lame in the U.S. of A.
Track 2.
Do you think your job's boring? Well, apparently a lot of people do. As a matter of fact, nearly 25% of workers in the United States think their job is boring. Some British researchers interviewed more than 100 American workers. Now, when you think about the number of people in America, that's kind of a small thing. But apparently a lot of people are just bored at work.
Bored to tears.
Yeah, you know what? And I think that probably happens if you spend a lot of time in the same position, and especially if you go to work and you sit in an office. And this goes into something that we mentioned on the show the other day.
What's that?
That the 9-to-5 workday might need to go out the window, not for just this particular reason, but this is certainly a good one to say, shake it up a little bit. And if you're bored at work, maybe it's time to look at that and figure out why and look for new opportunities.
I was going to go, the manager in me, the old manager starts to come out every once in a while. Brucifer, the boss, comes out and says, if you're bored doing what you're doing, let's look at you. Maybe what is your issue with this? Because the job is what it is. What can you do to make it less boring?
True that.
Track 3.
Uh-oh, Barry Odom ticked him off.
Who'd he tick off?
Hollywood is mad at the president.
No good.
They're now not going to be supporting President Obama's re-election campaign. No money's going to be flowing in. All because he's not supporting that Soapa Bill, the Stop Online Piracy Act.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, guys, though? They need to get over it because support for Soapa fell like a rock yesterday. 4.5 million people signed up for the Google petition on this yesterday. 300,000 people called their representatives, and like every senator attached to it was like running for the hills fast as can be right now.
Whether it's gay marriage bans, SOPA, PIPA, or the Keystone Pipeline, I find it humorous that President Obama appears to make every decision based on a vote count.
Sure.
How much money am I going to lose in campaign contributions as opposed to how many votes I'm going to pick up? I have absolutely no idea where he morally stands on any of these issues.
Well, I don't think basing things on votes or anything like that is anything new. I think all the politicians are like that. But so the Soapa Bill, after everybody tuned into Wikipedia yesterday, and it wasn't there, including me, we all freaked out. And I don't know if that's really, this is what the web would look like. I don't know if that's true, but, there you have it.
Track 4.
Mark had to issue an apology yesterday. No, it was not for the Funky Bunch and the song Good Vibrations, which you could argue. I'm still waiting for an apology on that. This came after the magazine Men's Journal quoted him as saying, quote, if I was on that plane, referring to 9/11, right, with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in the first-class cabin, and then me saying, okay, we're going to land somewhere safely. Don't worry. Yes, Mr. Walberg later apologized, saying, I deeply apologize to the families of the victims that my answer came off as insensitive. It was certainly not my intention. He was apparently scheduled to fly that morning of September 11th and didn't make a flight. But again, who does Mark Walberg think he is? Chuck Norris?
He does realize that was not a movie.
Right.
And that was not scripted.
No.
And he was not going to run into the cockpit and take them all down single-handedly, missing every blow they threw or dodging every bullet and all that.
Yeah.
He's just a nut.
Plus, until September 11, 2001, everybody thought the hijackers were going to take the plane to Cuba.
Yeah, we're going somewhere warm.
Yeah, and I remember hearing one of the phone calls that one of the flight attendants said, oh my God, why are we flying through New York City? Why are the buildings? I'm looking at the buildings right now. It wasn't until then it dawned on people.
Track 5.
Who doesn't love their coffee in the morning? I
Yeah.
do. And I enjoy the act of drinking the coffee. It tastes good. I
Okay.
like the ritual. But there's a guy, a Harvard biomedical engineering professor,
There you have 'em.
that's got it a new idea that he thinks is going to make it easier and healthier to have your morning pick-me-up. He calls it Arrow Shot. And get this,
Shot.
Arrow Shot. It's a shot of lime-flavored caffeine powder.
What?
Yum, yum. Ew.
Yeah, he says it works like an asthma inhaler. You put it in your mouth, all of a sudden you get your shot. It's direct. Makes life a little bit easier. I'm like, well, this is just what we need. We are so lazy, we don't even want to drink coffee anymore.
I can get the 12 ounces up to my mouth. That's it. I'm going to do lines of caffeine. What? Where is this
Yeah.
world coming to?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sick of this.
I don't
stuff,
know.
I'll tell you what.
Track 6.
Wait, you guys hear this? Peyton Manning is going to retire.
Seriously,
What?
the quarterback.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. No. That was according to the actor Rob Lowe. It made big headlines.
That Rob
yesterday.
Lowe?
He tweeted it out. Yeah, that Rob Lowe, the guy you haven't heard from in like 10 years. I heard somebody say yesterday he's got a new Lifetime movie coming out. Yeah, that's how far he's fallen.
Really?
Of course, Manning's agent says no. The team says no, none of this is true. I don't know. I was wondering if Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World maybe told Rob Lowe.
I was going to say, are there any other bizarre kind of has-been actors that have any other thoughts on NFL quarterbacks? When is Rob Lowe an expert on the Indianapolis Colts?
Now, if Kenny Chesney had been the one that came out and said Peyton
What?
Manning's going to retire,
Why is
we
that
might.
important?
Well, they're kind of BFFs.
I did not
think.
know that.
Yeah, because Peyton Manning was a quarterback at Tennessee.
Yeah,
and
there
Kenny
is
Ches-
that.
so there's that connection.
Okay.
So Rob Lowe, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Well, we'll sing Rocky Top later. How's that?
okay.
I know you and your Tennessee background there. That is the playlist. We do it at 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30. Get you caught up on the stories that people are talking about. Thanks for joining us for this version of The Playlist.